Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has been indicted. This is regarding the documents case, classified, unclassified. I think it's all under the Presidential Records Act. Just for clarity, the Presidential Records Act, contrary to the misinformation merchants, is not about classified documents. I don't believe classified documents is even referenced in the act itself. It is about government records. Government records. That's what it's about. So, once you leave the office, you're not allowed to take government records with you. Top secret, secret, unclassified, not allowed. Now, you are allowed to take certain personal documents. So, for example, if someone wrote you a personal letter, I guess that's the White House, so it's there. Um, your personal journal, stuff like that. Official government records would be anything regarding official government business. So, it could be something as mundane as a memo, an unclassified memo. It could be something as mundane as your schedule for the week. Now, I'm only mentioning these examples. Someone trying to deceive you might mention them just to downplay it. I'm just mentioning it so you understand, because I know some people are trying to deceive people by focusing on classified stuff and it's not classified and the president can unclassify it. I'm trying to get you away from that nonsense and let you know, according to this act, basically any official government record, you're not allowed to take it out of the White House after you're out of office. So any kind of correspondence, again, if it's official business, then you're not allowed to take it out. He talked about potentially like a person, like letters from foreign leaders. That's a great area for me. I'm not an attorney, but that sounds like government business because I mean, a foreign leader is sending you a letter. I mean, what is he your personal friend? And from what I'm hearing, there's also one part of it that is regarding a conspiracy of some sort. I'm thinking it's the one conspiracy that a certain group of people that love conspiracies, for some reason, didn't jump on, which is the pool flooding thing, right? So Nancy Pelosi's husband gets attacked, and oh, it's okay, this and blah 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 blah. A pool mysteriously floods right at the right time, just so there, certain information can't be provided. I think it was surveillance footage, or whatever. But all the conspiracy theorists nowhere to be found. Silence. You can hear a pin drop. But the good thing about this is now that he's been indicted, and assuming this goes through successfully, and he actually gets convicted, this is going to be. I mean, I know there's a lot of things he's done in the past, and it seems like Teflon Don or whatever. But this is something that is so serious. I mean, for him to be convicted of this, um, that finally people, not everyone, right, but most people who voted for him or would vote for him are going to now reject him and seek something else. I'm a conservative. I agree with a lot of things that Trump was promoting, but now it's just been too much. Now it's time to move on. Now, I don't think so. There's no, right now, these influencers, the modern day Pied Pipers have people so ginned up on culture wars that is basically, I can't imagine anything that Trump could do or be convicted of that would be any, like, let me be very clear. Yes, these things would increase the desire to move on beyond Trump, but if there's an election and it's a choice between Biden and Trump, I can't imagine what kind of criminal activity he could be convicted of that would have a major impact at all, right? Keep in mind, my comments are based on the information we have right now. We don't know the full details of what they're going to argue in court, how serious things are. We've heard a lot of stuff, but mainstream media hasn't a good track record. I said mainstream media. I'm sounding like breaking points now. American media has a bad track record of sort of exaggerating things, um, putting out incorrect details. So we gotta wait and see what actually comes out in court. Not play games and act like it's all a witch hunt or whatever. No, wait until we see what happens in court. What evidence is presented, what arguments are made, and what ultimately is the verdict. So just keep that in mind. Also pay attention to who covers this in terms of who is showing the actual court documents, what was argued in court, right? The deep dive and substance of the legal proceedings versus who focuses primarily on their opinions or simply telling you like it's not a big deal or it's nonsense or they wouldn't have done this if it was Biden or what about Biden. So pay attention. The ones who are showing you the details and what's in court, agreeing with it or disagreeing with it, but showing you the substance, those are probably the ones to be taken more seriously, potentially. But the ones who almost show you nothing about what's happening in court, no court documents, no links to any of the court filings at all whatsoever, purely just, making blanket statements about whether this is bad or not or good or whatever the position is. If it's all about them just saying this is that and talking about other things, what about some other person? Those are the people not to be taken seriously because they're probably misleading you, probably playing games with you, and you're smarter than that. So don't take them seriously. Right? Even the people who would right now claim they moved on from Trump, in that moment, I vote for Biden, right? And wouldn't even be willing to say like, okay, I'm not voting for Trump either, so I'm not even going to vote. No, they're going to vote for Trump, right? They have been so carefully controlled to such a level, in terms of how do you control people? Fear. The fear tactic, the divide and conquer tactic has been so effectively utilized in this country that there's no level of corruption. I mean, we could find out that Trump was selling our national secrets. I don't want to sound like MSNBC putting out wild speculation just trying to get clicks. But I'm saying, let's say that was actually the case. And we find out he was selling national secrets. I mean, just think about whatever traitorous thing he could do that will be a major threat to the country. And it comes out and we go through the investigation and he's convicted of it. Again, scenario between Trump and Biden. Again, a lot of our population is so controlled that they are basically unable to step outside of this sort of bubble that's been created for them. And in that bubble, Trump is king, right? Even for those who say, well, I don't agree with him and I don't like the stuff that he does and this and that, and it's just the policies or whatever, and whatever. When it comes down to it, Trump versus Biden, the amount of people that would be willing to at some point say, this is too far, this is too much, I'll try to push for somebody else, right? But even if that person loses and Trump ends up being the person in terms of general election, I can't vote for him because there's no level. There's no you got to get to this level. I don't like this stuff, but it's not far enough. But if he does this thing, I can't imagine there's anything that Trump could do, because as extreme the crimes get, as traitorous as things might get, right? I'm just saying in terms of, not saying that he's done traitorous things. I'm saying if he did do things like that, below a certain threshold, it's kind of like, whatever. I'm not voting for him because I like him or like his personality or I like everything that he says. It's the policies and also the threat that the Democrats represent is why I vote. So, I don't agree with that stuff, and that's pretty messed up. But ultimately, when I weigh this country becoming a socialist country, whatever thing that's been sort of just brainwashing over years, decades, right? Whatever the boogeyman is, this is destroy the country and our kids and whatever, right? Whatever that is that you're thinking. You feel that you can't have that reality be a reality. So you're going to still vote for him. That's below a certain threshold, right? Above that threshold, then you switch gears into the false flag, fake news, witch hunt. It's not really true. The person who said it is connected to the Democrats, or it's this guy is connected to George Soros, or his cousin's cousin was connected to Hillary Clinton or something like that. It's all, so at that point, just close your eyes. Like, no matter the amount of evidence coming, it's fake, right? That's legitimately what it is, right? Above that threshold, just maximum, take the denial switch, engage, full power, denial. I don't see it. No, lies, fake news. Below that level, government is corrupt. Politicians are corrupt. Who isn't corrupt? You think the Democrats are better? That person corrupt too. This person corrupt too. And I don't care what he did. Okay, maybe he raped that woman. I don't know. But I'm not voting for him. I'm not marrying him. It's not hanging out with him. I want the policies that I know he's going to put in. So that's my decision. And that's how it is. Straight up. Right? So any kind of liberals that are out there thinking, this is it. This is it. This is it. Not happening. This is the United States in 2023. Ironically, This is why I love that people like to use this matrix sort of language, because it's very, very accurate, right? People talk about red pill. Perfectly describes this country in many ways. You have many people who accept the simulation as reality, living in the matrix, completely oblivious. Then you have those who question the system, and you have the system that has created a system specifically for those people who question the system. The illusion of the red pill. Take this red pill and see the truth, right? And you take the red pill and you end up in Zion, which is supposedly the real world. But if you watch the movie, Zion is nothing but another matrix. A matrix within the matrix, specifically for those troublemakers who question the system. Right? So, ironically, many people in this country believe that they are woke, even though they use that word pejoratively against people they disagree with. But in actuality, when you think about the term woke, they're some of the most woke people out there, right? They talk about deep state and big pharma and all this stuff. Like, it's like, I'm awake, I'm woke, right? People are sitting there oblivious. They don't understand. They think this is real. They just watching mainstream media, right? But I'm woke, right? I have my eyes open. I can see the truth about the deep state and this and that and who's really doing what. And the real reason they don't like Trump is because, right? All those people in Zion, walking around, we're the what do you call it? We're the rebels. We know what's really going on. Look at all those dummies in the matrix. Meanwhile, they're in another matrix within the matrix, right? And I think, I don't know, in some ways they might be deeper than the ones in the matrix, because the ones in the matrix have no clue, so they haven't even had the ability to question things or make an analysis of things, right? But the ones who are in Zion have an awareness of the matrix, and the fact that they have an awareness of the matrix and they went to this whole illusion of the pill and I'm in reality, I mean, they're really, really convinced. I mean, the idea of them having any idea whatsoever that they're not in the real world, unlikely, right? People in the matrix might see something strange and whatever, right? Because they haven't had the time to analyze and process. They've just been accepting things. But once it's like the people who are in the illusion, within the illusion, I think you really got those people, right? I mean, imagine walking up to someone in Zion and saying, hey, this is the matrix. Like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm unplugged. I'm woke. Anyway, Trump has been indicted. What's going to come of it? I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other in terms of where this is going to lead. It's not looking good for Trump. But the idea of this country holding someone like Trump accountable, an elite at his level, not saying it's impossible. Martha Stewart. And I mean, he's kind of on a higher level than Martha Stewart, obviously, former president. So that makes it even worse. It was hard to get Martha Stewart to even be held accountable. But this guy's a former president. So I'm just wondering what kind of slap on the wrist, what kind of $1 million fine, what kind of house arrest for a year or whatever it is. It's not good for the country and and we got to think about the division, and they gonna figure some way out. I mean, if I'm wrong, whatever. And like I said, I don't have a strong position, but I'm one thing that is strong is a lot of pessimism within me, and just like I don't have a lot of faith in us holding elites, accountable. Not in America. Not in 2023. Go ahead, surprise me, America. America. This Baby channel, the baby in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Like my little ceiling fan. That's my little mobile camping battery operated fan light thingy. Doing the job as far as circulation. Anyway, that's topic for another video. Boom! Whoa, that was way too close. God damn.